that is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
What the?
I don't know what that was. What is going on here?
I don't know, but I'm feeling a little funky now.
Oh, God. Welcome, everybody, to the Old Guy in the Club podcast. I am the old guy, a.k.a. your pal, Justin. Over there to my left, right, over there. That's Rob Zilla. He's in San Diego, California.
Hi.
And down below is the musical director of the show, which is not... we're gonna have to fire him after this week. That is Neil Jackson, ladies and gentlemen.
I have no problem. I mean, I have no problem with that intro. I mean, first of all, it's very fitting. Neil Jackson, show us that amazing shirt that you're rocking.
Look at that beaut.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
Look at Justin's face, just mesmerized.
No. Were you having issues hearing Zilla when he was just talking, or was that just me?
That was just you.
Oh, good. That's a good thing. Yeah, I couldn't hear anything he was saying. But that is
all right.
a
How about
spectacular...
How about now?
No. It was like an internet thing.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I like the shirt, Neil. I need one.
Where could one find a miraculous shirt like that, Neil Jackson?
They have the whole clan at Forbidden Planet. They have two for $35.
Why are we calling them the clan?
Well, because of Rue McClanahan that is on the show too.
And because they're
what does that mean? All right, that's it. We're officially naming this the old white guy in the club. This is the old white guy in the club from now on.
That would be you, sir. The whole pointing thing. Like now, for the first time in my life, I'm starting to understand what it's like to be a weather person, right? Because they always have to point to things that aren't there. It's harder. It's harder than it looks. Like you're like, oh, you're a weather person. How hard is your job? You point at a map. I'm sitting here trying to point at Justin, and that never works. Like. There's Justin. There's Neil. There.
Justin.
It is harder than it looks. And there's Claudia Vasquez in our Twitch chat. Hi, Claudia. And Velasquez, excuse me. And everybody else that's joining us in our Twitch chat. As we say each and every week, this show is better with you in it. So comments, questions, concerns, snide remarks, throw them up in the chat room. Our modest Jenna will be in shortly if she isn't in there already. We've got polls, we've got activities, we've got a whole bunch of fun stuff happening today. So thanks for being the best part of the old guy in the club.
Second best part. You're the best part, Zilla.
Ha! Ha!
And I am the second best.
There's Modest Jenna. Hey, Modest
Hello.
Jenna. I just want to say hi. There's Jilly. I mean, so
it's ladies' night at the old guy in the club. We got all ladies in the chat. This is amazing.
For the most part,
dude that shows up is the first Jenna. The first dude that shows up, ban him. He's out.
Yeah. Well, it's always ladies' night because it's us, all the ladies, and then a bunch of DJs. So, it's always ladies' night here.
That's true. So let's talk about some lady stuff tonight. I mean, not really. I don't know. I'm the last guy. And I'm looking at my list. There's nothing there that would be specifically for ladies to talk about.
Let's try it.
Actually,
I mean,
I am going to change my statement there. You guys were both on a group. You guys were both on a group text.
None of us are surprised. Okay.
You guys were both on a group text the other day that my brother sent us. And I have some validation for my UGG wearing.
Oh God.
Dennis Rodman wears
go.
Uggs. Dennis Rodman. That's right.
Yeah. The ambassador to North Korea. The worm.
That Dennis Rodman wears it, and that makes it okay. He is the spokesperson of all that is man.
Also, what size wedding dress will you be wearing with your Uggs, Justin? Because Dennis Rodman wears those.
Probably maybe the same size as his, just a little taken out, probably. Same height, basically. Maybe a little shorter.
I'm just saying that if you're going to use Dennis Rodman as your ethical and moral compass,
I am totally not. I told you who I used. Tom Brady. That's all that matters. I've been using that one for weeks, months.
I don't think he's wearing Uggs in Tampa.
Well, you're probably right about that.
Climate specific.
Speaking of climate specific, Jilly Bean, I don't need any help on my argument. I know that Uggs are fashionable.
Hey,
and
technical
any man
director
that really watches, that is confident in himself and knows what's cool, wears Uggs.
Just point of order to our technical director and host, Justin Zotz. If we're going to quote people in the chat room, either A, let's put their quote up on the screen, or B, read it so that everybody else, when they listen back to us every Monday when we repost the show, or when they watch, wherever you get your podcasts, they actually know what it is that we're talking about. That'd be great.
I'm just the talent, man. I am just the talent. You
but
guys
are you?
No, I'm not. I'm totally not. Jesus.
I'm just trying to be a helper. I'm just trying to be a helper here.
I know. So so Rodman's not helping my case here, huh?
I mean, let's ask our friends in the chat. Is Dennis Rodman actually, I mean, how do we frame this? Do celebrity endorsements change the the court of public opinion as to whether or not things are fashionable? Like, I'll give you something that I personally can't stand are the fluffy slides. Like, there are slides, and then like Rihanna has her Fenty Puma slides that look like, it looks like ladies in the chat room, I think you might follow me on this. Like, those slides look like a chihuahua freaking died on the tops of your feet. And I don't dig them, but I don't know. You see, Jenna says, oh my God, fluffy slides. Do we have an opinion on those? Like, are fluffy slides a thing? Jenna was wearing some. There we go.
But the emote that follows that is...
Yes.
The emote game in this chat right now is like out of control. I don't know who got the arm emote, but that thing is crazy. I don't know if
that is pretty wild. I like that one. No, that's awesome.
Anyway, fluffy. It's even hard for me to even say that. Fluffy
slides.
Fluffy slides. That is so hard to say. Fluffy slides. Fluffy slide.
I guess you guys don't have a reference point. Oh, whoa, we do have UGG Life. Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
Yeah, we do.
Oh God.
If you're joining us on a replay, if you ever watch us live, we have the ability to throw some graphics up on the screen. There are things on Twitch called emotes, which are basically an emoji that are specific to the Twitch platform. And apparently, because of Justin's infatuation and obsession with UGG boots, we have a white label agency emote that are classic Uggs with the caption UGG Life. So
yes.
while I certainly can't relate, I respect your hustle, sir. That's pretty impressive.
To be correct and specific, Justin has a white label agency emote of UGG Life. I do not.
Correct.
Oh yeah,
that is accurate.
I will certainly own this. I have a couple other emotes, and I will share them in the chat. Not because, you know,
I feel
not that
like
everyone
I feel
can
a little
see it.
left out. I think I'm the only
Look, Zilla,
person on
Zilla,
this.
until you get on Twitch and actually
what
I know
and
you're
what?
on Twitch right now.
And
I
what?
get it.
I'm like, and carrying you every Friday is what?
Oh God. Well, the good news about the beginning of this show, it can only get better from here.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it might be a great time to introduce the poll that we talked about beforehand, because we wanted to get some folks back in and get the chat room going. So you want to frame that one, Justin, and then we'll let Neil take it.
Wait, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so we were talking about my t-shirt.
Oh my God. Like, this is the one thing we set up right before we rolled camera. We were like, all right, we're going to frame it this way. We're going to let the chat set up and we're going to go back to it.
I feel like he's watching an episode of Golden Girls right now, and he's not really in our stream.
The theme song.
Oh, yeah.
My t-shirt.
Let's talk about that.
And then how we rolled into, you know what? Go for it, Justin. It's
I need
your
a drink.
Show. Go for it.
I need a drink. That's what I need.
So do we.
You know what? You're right. You need a drink. You should go get.
I haven't had a drink in a long time. I don't really drink anymore.
You should drink right now. Chat one in the chat if you want to see Justin Zott's drink.
I wish I was in the chat. I couldn't hit enough ones.
I mean, if you were on Twitch, Zilla, you could put a one in the chat.
I just want to point out right there above my head, there is the White Label Agency stream. I mean, or at least the homepage right there.
Go get
I just want to see
Justin.
how long we can go on this show without any dudes in the chat.
I mean, I think it's better without them. Ladies, we're so glad you're here.
Justin, go get a chat. Go get a drink.
Seriously?
Yes. I think you need to unwind. I think you need to be present.
Fireball.
All right, I'll be right back. You guys handle this.
What the hell did we get ourselves into?
I don't know, bro. I mean, it's just.
I don't know.
That's your boy.
No. You've known him way longer.
All right. So listen. So for everybody in the chat room, I'm just going to roll with this, and then we'll roll back into content by the time Justin gets back. So, first of all, Neil has that amazing Betty White shirt. It is absolutely glorious. And we started talking about old TV shows. I don't think that there's anybody that isn't familiar or a fan of the Golden Girls to some extent. And I had mentioned off camera, I'm like, the other day I was scrolling through TikTok and I heard somebody did a Golden Girls remix. Now, I don't think this is the specific one, but we found one that was pretty close. So we thought we'd play it for you and see if, since they are the Golden Girls and that's the old guy and we're all close to being senior citizens, could this potentially be a theme song? And if it's not, we want your suggestions as to what a good theme song for this show could be. So Neil Jackson, hit it.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
I don't like
Hold
that
up.
part.
Remix.
There it is. See, like this part, this intro right here, I think I would cut off the first 30 seconds personally.
We could put like a video editor and he could do some, I don't know, some stuff to us.
Claudia in the Twitch chat is asking,
that is
who
a
would be
great
who?
question. Neil Jackson is 1,000% Blanche.
Yeah. Somebody else said that too.
Really?
Wait.
Yeah. I don't even know who that is. I don't know the personalities of each cast member.
Trust us.
I would almost see Neil more. I mean, not that with the way that he just kind of keeps you in check, I see him more of a Dorothy because it's that dynamic there. I don't know if any of us would be a Blanche because I don't know how many of us are really hitting it during Corona.
Well, we don't actually. You know what? You're right. Neil definitely isn't. He's already said that there's
What?
no chance.
What? Throwing the kitty around?
All right. Here's my.
There's your Justin Weiser.
All right,
So,
hit us out, Budweiser. We need sponsors.
Claudia is saying that you could very well be Sophia, the old Sicilian mom.
Definitely.
Which either makes me Betty White, or, I mean, where does that leave me? That leaves me as either Blanche or Betty White. I think I would be Betty White because everybody loves Betty and everybody loves Zilla. This is case closed.
I think you're right.
Hey, wait.
All
so
right.
which one am I? Blanche?
Yeah.
What was?
No, you would be Dorothy. You'd be Sophia. Go ahead.
What was her personality
Or
or profile?
Who?
She just kind of she keeps everybody in check. She's in charge. She keeps everybody in check.
That's me. Wow.
Wow. In the context of this show,
because I'm too busy like on the phone screaming at people.
I'm just grateful I've never been on the receiving end of one of those calls. Just saying.
I'm going to say for the record that this beer has been sitting in my my refrigerator for like 3 months because I don't ever drink, and it's not really delicious. But I'm going to drink it anyway.
All right.
Oh, they say I'm Dorothy.
Yeah, that's what we said. You're Dorothy.
Oh, okay.
The responsible one.
I
mean, listen, all of the Golden Girls are incredibly adorable in their own way. It's not necessarily.
There's nothing adorable about Dorothy.
She was responsible. That's adorable.
She was annoying. She was like a buzzkill.
I'm Dorothy then.
Yeah, because Neil is perpetually killing your non-existent buzz.
Yeah.
To our enjoyment. But that's the thing. Like on the show, Dorothy kills everybody else's buzz and everybody else gets a laugh at it. And Neil kills your buzz and we all get a laugh at it. This is accurate. Highly accurate.
Okay, I'm Dorothy. I'm good with that.
If we had an actual like production budget, we could make a cool like intro to the show, and it could be us just as the Golden Guys. But
that's what the show should have been called.
Maybe after
Budweiser sponsors us, we can't do that.
Budweiser, king of beers.
So so speaking of Golden Girls, back in that era, what was your favorite show? Don't tell me Golden Girls.
I'll
back
jump
then.
on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's go. Zilla, what was your favorite? What was your favorite shows then?
I loved sitcoms, but and I think it's rather topical because it just came out on HBO Max, and I've been talking about.
Oh wait, hold on. Sam ruined it. Sam just joined us in the chat. He ruined it. Sam, you're the first dude to show up on the show today. We thought we were gonna have all ladies all night.
Okay, Zilla.
Seriously, so that's what we interrupt a train of
thought. I was literally thinking the same thing.
I'm like, oh, did Sam throw out the show that I was about to talk about? No, actually, that's not what he did. Awesome. So I'll tell you. No, Sam, please stay. Glad you're here. What we're talking about favorite shows growing up, and I didn't realize just how impactful The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was until I looked at the 30-year retrospective last night. And, it's very interesting. And I think you could say this about a lot of things in life, that when you're in the moment, you don't appreciate things for what they are. But when you get some separation and you look at things in the rear view, you really get perspective. And, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where it is an upper class family of color, that the traditional fish out of water story, Will Smith coming from Philadelphia, going to Beverly Hills, or to Bel-Air, excuse me, and everything that goes along with it. That's a great show. And I will tell you, I watched that if you get a chance to watch it on HBO Max and you don't tear up just a little bit, I'm going to question as to whether or not you have a soul.
Wow. Okay.
Because I think that show broke down a lot of barriers, but did so in a way much like the Cosby Show before it, maybe,
I was
6 to 8
gonna bring
years
that up.
prior. Like I think that everything took different steps in time, right? So here's the Cosby Show. East Coast, affluent, doctor lawyer family, and their world. And then it moves to the West Coast, another affluent family and their dynamic.
I mean, there's a lot of shows back then that were kind of trying to do that. The Jeffersons.
That was way before. Jeffersons was like early 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I would point out the fact, Justin, that the Jeffersons was actually a spinoff of All in the Family. So
right.
Whereas the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was written, it was actually a real life story. One of the creators of the show went, I believe, from Compton to Beverly Hills. And, that was kind of, and then they brought in Will Smith and this is going to be your vehicle, right? Your celebrity vehicle. So one show kind of spun off the other. This one was meant for a specific purpose. That's not to say that the Jeffersons didn't break barriers, because they most certainly did. Having a black upper class family in New York City, you just didn't have black families on TV. But then you could also go slightly after that, Different Strokes.
Yeah, but that was an old rich white dude.
Well, I mean, that was an old rich. Sorry, these are the braces again. Old rich white dude that adopted his housekeeper's kids. Right? Well,
Wait,
isn't that
no,
or an employee or something? There was some sort of dynamic where he had, like, Mr. Drummond, if I'm not mistaken, folks. I'm very capable of being wrong. So if I'm misremembering this, please correct me and give me the true story in the chat.
I didn't know that there was any connection before he just adopted them. I had no idea.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna Google it while you guys talk on stuff.
The show that I never hear about, that nobody ever brings up around that era, was A Different World. Now that one was, I loved that show. But was that a spinoff?
Yeah, that was a spinoff of the Cosby Show.
Oh, it was. That's right.
Absolutely. It actually, Lisa Bonet left the show in the first first season, but A Different World was supposed to follow, it was supposed to follow the Lisa Bonet character as she ventured off into college.
That's right.
Show
Lisa Bonet.
I mean, right up there. Lisa Bonet was one of my teenage celebrity crushes.
She's done all right for herself, huh? Speaking for all the ladies in the chat. I mean, to go from Lenny Kravitz to Jason Momoa, I think she's doing all right for herself.
Yeah,
I would agree. I'm just trying to take a look here, Mr. Drummond. Sorry.
So I'll jump in. So
yeah,
if we're just talking about kind of favorite shows from
really quick,
are Justin, you interrupting me?
Yes, for the first time ever, because I want to put the nail in the Different Strokes thing. According to Wikipedia, it says that Arnold Jackson and his older brother Willis, two children from a poor section of Harlem whose deceased mother had previously worked for rich widower Philip Drummond, who eventually adopted them. So I knew that there was there was some sort of connection between them, and they didn't just end up in his apartment by accident. So sorry, back to you. What are your favorite shows?
Well, if we're going all the way back to when we were kids, because if we're gonna
were we kids then?
I think so.
Okay, go ahead.
84. I'm 10. Sure.
What was that?
Yeah.
Wait, was that in '84?
Well, like the Cosby Show premiered in 1984. I'm damn near certain. And all of these other shows were on, plus or minus a couple of seasons on either side of it.
Okay. So, all right.
Like in that era, I have a lot of shows that I liked and I watched and I still love. Different Strokes is one of them for sure. Facts of Life.
All right.
What's the one with Michael J. Fox? Family Ties.
Family Ties.
Right.
Silver Spoons.
That was a great one.
Cosby Show for sure.
You're nailing like the entire NBC sitcom lineup from like 1983 to 1989.
I was going to say Silver
and
Spoons.
one that was going on back then, but I was probably a little young for it at the time, was Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I see that.
Incredible show.
Oh my God. I
What
mean,
do you mean, oh my God?
I never liked
Let's hear
Cheers.
your list.
I never understood the concept of it, of like hanging out at bars and like that. That was all foreign to me. So I was like, what is this?
I mean, that's my life. So that's probably why
at 10 years of
not
age.
at the time. Not at the time,
10?
but it would turn into my life.
Mine was Different World. Good Times.
Great show.
What else was there?
Lisa in the chat, that's a really good one. Night Court. And then Taxi from Claudia. Yeah, those are good.
I never got into Night Court. I think my sister was in a Night Court, but I was never really into that show. Different World, Cosby Show, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, but that was later, wasn't it?
What was that, like late 80s, right?
I think we could lump the 80s and 90s to an extent together. I don't think that it's, I don't think it's completely out of bound because you're only young once, right? And, these are when you grow up, these are the shows that you grow up on. So I don't think that there's, I think, Neil, were you still going through on your list? Because I've got a couple to contribute that I think were pretty awesome.
Well, to be more specific, the only reason why I liked Silver Spoons was from that fucking train.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That was really the only thing that I liked about it. Everything else I didn't understand, but I was like, damn, I want that fucking train. And where the hell does it go?
Oh, and let's not forget about the greatest
Aaron
show
Gray.
of all time.
Oh.
Saved by the Bell.
I never liked it. And let's
give a big shout out to our good friend, Mr. Belding, who just had a birthday a couple days ago.
Happy 70th, Dennis, Mr. B. Wish we could be celebrating with you wherever you are.
Hated the show. Sorry.
What?
I don't know.
I did. I didn't like that show. I never.
We're gonna have to make a change, Neil.
I was. If we're gonna talk about a show like that, 90210 is my show.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I know Zilla and I have had this conversation. We are the biggest 90210 fans.
I've never guessed that.
Oh yeah.
I will tell you that at one point when I started my radio career at Channel 933 back in the day, I mean, the last couple of seasons, we would actually have watch parties in our conference room. Like we'd get pizzas, after the day of work or whatever, and we'd grab pizzas and drinks, and the interns and the on-air staff, all of us, we'd all get together and watch on the projector. Like that's just what we do. I mean,
I would have never guessed that, but Claudia in the chat is saying Melrose Place.
Yes,
Melrose was great too.
Punky Brewster.
So I'm going to throw out some sitcoms, and you guys tell me just yes or no. All right, like we don't need to go into in depth, but whether you were a fan or not. All right.
Yes.
Easy. Growing Pains.
No.
Neil.
Who was that with?
Growing Pains was the one with Alan Thicke and
Kirk Cameron, that freak.
Yeah.
Nope.
Full House.
Oh hell yeah.
No.
All right. Who's the Boss?
Yes.
Nah.
You're gonna take a pass on Alyssa Milano, bro?
Before she
All
was
right.
crazy.
Why do you think I said Punky Brewster?
All right.
Huge crush.
What about Doogie
So-
Howser?
Soleil Moon Frye.
Yeah.
He might have. You never know. I don't think that qualifies as a sitcom though. Married with Children.
Hell yeah.
I think that show is more groundbreaking, and I don't think that show gets nearly as much credit as it should. Perfect Strangers.
Balky Bartakovich, wasn't that his name?
I hate Bartakamus.
Balgi Bartakamus.
I hated that show.
And what was the other guy's name? Larry?
Kosen Laddie. Alf.
So good.
Alf.
Alf was all right. Eh.
Nah, didn't like that one.
Charles in Charge.
Oh, fuck yeah. Love that show.
Hate Scott Baio, but I'll tell you what. I mean, again, these are like, when you're a teenager.
He went to my high school. You can't hate him.
I sure can. One of my fraternity brothers used to date Nicole Eggert back in the day, though.
Hey.
Oh, Jenna in the chat. Three's Company. Yes.
Oh, what a great show.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that qualifies as a 70s show, but sure.
Okay. Mr. Roper or Mr. Furley?
In what?
Oh, my God.
Better?
I think that's a debate for the ages.
They should have like a celebrity boxing match with that.
The only reason I'm going to say Mr. Roper is because when he would say something about Jack, he would just look at the camera. It was the greatest thing ever.
When he break the fourth wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Dukes of Hazzard. That was a good one. I was definitely onto that one.
I never saw it as a sitcom, Neil, but sure.
Oh, well, okay. So now I'm just like thinking serious.
No, if we're throwing out shows, I mean, look, A-Team, Airwolf. I mean, what other great shows were on at that time? There was one about a robotic motorcycle called Nighthawk. I mean, there's a lot of crazy shows that I think that there were people in writers' rooms at all the networks that were just, dude, I got this idea. There's a guy who turns into a motorcycle because somebody saw Knight Rider and was like, NBC's doing some really cool shit with a car, but we can't do something with a car. So we need to do something with a helicopter or a motorcycle. CBS got the helicopter, put on Airwolf, and ABC grabbed the motorcycle and put on Nighthawk.
Yeah, I mean, plus everybody was on cocaine. The ideas were flowing.
Dude, I was just thinking about that. If they rebooted some of these shows, can you imagine A-Team? Van swoops up while the innocent bystander's in trouble, and it swoops up, door opens, get in, and the person stops and was like, wait a second. This van has no windows. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Black van, no windows. Bunch of dudes. Get in. Like, nah.
Well, a lot of the shows from back then probably would have never been made now. There'd never be an All in the Family. There'd never be the Jeffersons. And that's just the two I can think of right off the top of my head. Probably never a Married with Children.
You know what I'll tell you though? It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I'm still a sucker for Happy Days. I dug it. I mean, granted, I was born in '74. That show took place in, the late 50s.
The late 50s, yeah.
Late 50s, and kind of ended with Richie going to Vietnam or something, and or going to Korea, one of those. I dug that. I don't know. It's an interesting show. I mean, I guess it's not for everybody. I enjoyed Happy Days, but it also gave us Laverne and Shirley.
I like Laverne and Shirley.
I wasn't into that one. Charlie's Angels, yes. Greatest American Hero, yes.
Oh yeah, that show is the best.
What else?
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I mean, that show has everything that Justin wants. It's got a yacht rock theme song.
Yep.
It's got a superhero.
When
All
I
rolled
hear
into
that
one.
song, Zilla, what do you think about when you think of that theme song?
The Greatest American Hero.
A bottle
Yes.
presentation.
I don't.
When you just the theme song.
I'm lost.
Seinfeld. When George has that on his answering machine, but it's different words.
I totally missed that one.
Oh, it's the greatest.
Somebody threw out a show in the chat. Jenna put out MASH, and I understand that it was at the time the highest rated television show that ever left the airwaves. Wasn't a fan at all.
I always, the funny thing is where I mean, oh well, Zilla, you're our West Coast. I always used MASH as, okay, it's time to go to bed.
Right.
No, it had nothing to do with the show. It came on so late, and I would always pass out right when that theme song kicked in.
I just want to point out that in the chat room, Irene Fiasco said the exact same thing. Quote, "We knew it was time for bed when MASH came on."
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even see that, but yes, every time I heard that, I was like, oh.
My sister's in the chat room, and Hannah Girl, what up? She threw one out there that I totally forgot about, but if it wasn't for this show, we would have never been given the American treasure that is Tom Hanks. Bosom Buddies.
Or Peter Scolari.
I mean, and they've been friends and working together forever. I mean,
oh really?
Well, in what's that movie? That Thing You Do, that Tom Hanks did. Peter Scolari played the host of the variety show that The Wonders goes on from the Hollywood Television City. So they collaborated for years after that. Just useless information, but Tom Hanks, one of his very first debuts. Think about okay, I'm going to go back to Happy Days. Happy Days actually gave us Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks played an abusive boyfriend to Fonzie's then girlfriend in one of the later seasons, and Happy Days also gave us Robin Williams. Mork from Ork was originally a character on Happy Days before getting their own spinoff for Mork and Mindy.
Okay.
And who can't forget the term the Malachi Crunch?
I have no idea what that is.
There was a scene in an episode where Fonzie. I mean, there's always something where Fonzie nearly gets killed, and in one scene, Fonzie finds himself in a demolition derby with Pinky Tuscadero, and their opposition has a move where two cars will back into a single car simultaneously. They were driven by the Malachi brothers, and that maneuver was called the Malachi Crunch.
This is
okay.
You know entirely too much about this.
I'm a fountain of useless information, but believe me, I'm going to give you the most accurate nonsense you've ever heard in your life every time you tune in here to the Old Guy in the Club, broadcasting live Fridays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, with replays wherever you get your podcasts each and every Monday, plus on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on all of our social media handles. You'll find all of them down there scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
So Hannah Girl in the chat.
Sponsored by Budweiser.
Yeah.
You find the perfect times to talk, Justin. The perfect times. Hannah Girl in the chat put up Bosom Buddies, and I glanced at it for a second, and it made me think of a whole nother show. And it's kind of weird because I'm gonna admit that I had like a heavy crush on this girl, but Blossom.
You had a crush on Mayim Bialik?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have no idea. I mean, I'm just letting you know. I mean, but yes, Blossom.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Oh, Jenna in the chat. That's a good one.
She got
Wonder
mine.
Years.
Wonder Years. What a great show.
Winnie Cooper. Every guy had a crush on Winnie Cooper.
Correct.
Every single one of them.
Danica McKellar, if I'm not mistaken, like her family still lives here in San Diego. And she's got like a degree in mathematics. She's got like a PhD in mathematics. Oh, your sister just called you out,
Yeah.
Neil. Mel's Angels in the chat was like,
Look, if
I
I'm gonna
totally
go on,
remember that crush.
if I'm gonna go on stream, and just throw my sister just backing me up. She's like, "Yep, I remember." But Punky Brewster, though.
Well, I think this leads to a very interesting question because a lot, Nikki Chips just wrote in, aren't they redoing Wonder Years? There's now a reboot of Saved by the Bell. I just saw the trailer for the new Peacock Network streaming service that NBC has. There's a lot of stuff that's being remade. How do we feel about the remakes? Have we just run out of ideas that we just need to keep bringing things back? Or, do we have opinions on it? Do we not care?
I mean, that's probably when all the good writing was happening,
As Justin said, there was a lot of good cocaine.
Yeah, exactly.
First off, thank you, Claudia, for the sub.
Claudia, thank you so much.
Now, can we ask you what, did you sub for the emote of my face or of the Ugg Life or Neil in a Benihana hat? That's what we need to know.
The funny thing is, you have so many emote slots, and you just have those.
I gave.
Or was it because we're actually charming and we talk about things that people can relate to? I mean, maybe there's that.
I would like to think it's that. What is Jilly?
She's saying Punky Brewster had people wearing bandanas. I used to buy them from Miller's Outpost. That's Miller's a blast from the
Outpost. Wow.
Was that just a West Coast thing, or was that? I don't know.
I have no idea what that means.
So Miller's Outpost was a clothing store, and that's where it was set up like an old Western general store, and that's where you would go get clothes. Like that's where you would go buy your Levi's, but it's also where you would go and buy concert tickets. It was random as all random would get up. They'd have like
you get concert tickets. I forgot about that.
They had like next to the registers there would be just this one computer, and that one computer was the Ticketmaster or the Computron that they were using for whichever the venue was using. Like you'd have to go and wait in line. You'd have to go wait on a line, and they would do raffles to for your position or wristbands, and then you'd walk into the clothing store and buy whatever tickets they had in front of you. Same with Tower Records.
It's like a Supreme drop.
Yeah,
I mean the then equivalent, but yes. I mean, you'd go to Tower Music, you would go to Warehouse. There were clothing stores across the country, like what was one? Chess King. Like the ones that were just like fashion forward. What was another one? Carousel, I think, or Merry-Go-Round. That was one. And the big Southern California record chain, Licorice Pizza.
Oh, I do not remember that.
Licorice Pizza, which was then bought by Sam Goody.
Jay Chan, I know why you subbed. I hate you, but thank you. But I hate you. Anyway,
I thank everybody that subs. That's amazing.
No, he's just laughing at the emote of me.
Which one?
How many do you have of me?
I don't know. I don't really do this very often. Let's see. Just one.
I saw him jump in the chat, and he's just like, the Benihana one. Neil. I was like, oh. Anyway, Zilla, do you remember Music Plus?
Yeah, sure.
Who owned that? Or is it just its own company?
I think it was its own, but I'm not sure. I mean, I when you bring it up, I'm like, I see the logo. I don't really remember a whole lot more of it, but what is our good friend Matt Mira asking us?
He just put in the chat, who knows about Hastings in this joint?
I
have no idea.
That's got to be some like Arizona stuff.
Well, he grew up in New Mexico, so.
Oh, that's even worse. I don't know if you've ever been to New Mexico. That's got to be some New Mexico shit. So, yeah, no, Music Plus. That's the one that was my go-to. But Miller's Outpost, man, that was the spot. My sister would take me there all the time. So
now everything is just, a Macy's. Like
It's Amazon.
there's not a whole. Yeah, everything's just Amazon.
It's perfect.
There's not a lot.
It's so much better.
I think that is one of the things that like generations won't quite understand that we all got to experience, which was the sheer excitement of going and hanging out at the mall. Like the mall was
No.
when you're at,
Neil still hangs out at the mall wherever he goes on the road.
this is true.
that's old habits die hard. But what I'm trying to suggest is that, me growing up, the mall was the center of your social universe. The mall was where you go to the movies, you meet your friends, you'd hang out at the food court, you're shopping, you're like, that's just everything happened at the mall. If you look at any, and I kind of binge watched some 80s movies today, there are so many so many movies that take place in and around a mall. For example, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Mm-hmm.
I watched
top 10 movie of all time, by the way.
Absolutely. One of my absolute favorites, which I watched not once but twice today. I watched Can't Buy Me Love. And
that is so good.
It is so cliche. It is so horrible, but it's so horribly good. Like it's just that bad.
To answer a question we had in the chat, that was, what was the name of the catalog that had the best gadgets that you only found on airplanes? I think. Well, I don't know that.
Sharper Image.
Or Hammacher Schlemmer.
No, those weren't on airplanes.
No, I know, but I think. Well, let's ask him or her. I don't know who. I don't know.
Jay
you
Chon?
know the person. Yeah.
Jay Chon in the house. Yeah, Sky Mall.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've wanted to buy like quite a few things in there. Another show back then, another movie. When you said Can't Buy Me Love, it only made me think of Just One of the Guys. Remember that movie?
Yes.
Oh,
so hot.
That was what's her name?
So hot.
Was that Jennifer Connelly?
No, this girl was like a one-off.
But Jennifer Connelly did star in Career Opportunities, which is the first time it was the guy that got a job at a Target, which is the first time I'd ever, like, there were no Targets on the West Coast. This movie was set in the Midwest, which is, Target is based in Minneapolis. So like you see this store, you're like, I've never seen a store like this before in my life. And then 2 years later, San Diego gets its first Target. But this guy gets a job and he's locked in a Target store. But and then turns out that there's a girl who's also locked in the Target store, but her dad owns it. And, there's the meet cute and all hilarity ensues.
Joyce Hazer.
Okay.
That was the girl from Just One of the Guys.
Just as a quick aside to the previous catalog thing, I'm almost positive that Sky Mall has a Sharper Image section. So in the past, it was the Sharper Image catalog, but when Sharper Image went under, Sky Mall started publishing all of their stuff in their catalogs. But maybe I'm wrong.
You're never wrong. You're never wrong.
But yeah, I'll still go back to I Can't Buy Me Love. I'm just saying that movie phenomenal.
Such a good movie.
Look at the cliche that we got. There hasn't been a teen movie since that doesn't have this.
Wait, didn't Rudy have that?
Came after that movie. I'm just saying that the teen movie slow clap, the cliche slow clap, originated on Can't Buy Me Love.
No, that was Rudy, wasn't it?
Rudy came out like, listen, Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau were in Rudy. Patrick Dempsey was like 17 when they made that movie. That movie came out. Can't Buy Me Love was way before Rudy. And as Fisher P says, this is absolutely true. Gerardo, aka Rico Suave, was in Can't Buy Me Love. And Rudy isn't a teen movie for that matter either.
Rudy is an incredible movie. There are not many movies that make me cry. Every time he runs on the field, I cry. Every time I see it.
Every time you
With his
are you
little
kidding
legs.
me?
When he runs on the field at the end of the movie, if you don't cry, there's something wrong with your with you.
I want to watch Rudy with you.
Fuck Notre Dame and fuck the motherfucking Fighting Irish. How about that?
Whoa!
I just
nothing to do with anything.
I'm just throwing that out just to be a dick. I mean, if we're gonna call, you know what? That's right. Lisa's correct. If we're gonna just start throwing things out there, might as well just say that Shawshank Redemption now is a teen movie while we're at it. Like, let's just stick to the topic, people.
Untouchables.
Yeah,
It's a coming of age film.
Guys, we started. I don't even know where we started this conversation. We wound up here. I honestly.
We were talking
I don't know
about
what's going on.
We were talking about sitcoms. Then we ended up just talking about shows, and then we just.
you know what? You know where it started? On that glorious shirt that Neil Jackson is wearing right now. That's where it started. And then we started about the theme song. We started talking about our favorite 80s shows growing up, which segued into movies. This is the natural progression of a conversation amongst friends.
Yeah.
And speaking of amazing shows, I'm going to mention this for like the 8th week in a row. I am now on season 6, episode 17 of rewatching The West Wing, which is the greatest show in the history of television.
Okay. I'm caught up with This Is Us, and I'm about to get back into Grey's Anatomy. So there you have it.
I think This Is Us is phenomenally written.
I love This Is Us, Grey's Anatomy. I'll watch it, but I don't love it.
This Is Us. I actually have my sister who's listening and in the chat. We actually after we have to make sure that both of us watch it, and then we're like, "Did you see that? Did you see that?" It usually ends with Jen saying to me, "You're Randall, and I hate Randall." She's like, "You're just like Randall, and I hate Randall."
Nobody hates Randall.
Well, my sister hates Randall.
How? What?
I'm just saying, Jennifer, get in here and defend yourself.
Jen, that is insane.
I think that the dynamic of Randall and his wife's character's name is escaping me. That dynamic is straight up relationship goals. Like, that's just, Beth. Thank you, Jilly. Randall and Beth might be one of the best power couples on television right now.
Silver, don't spoil it for me. Anyway, I like Randall. He means well.
I haven't lived a day. I mean, that show makes it very interesting, or makes it very easy to care about the characters. The way that the writers of that show did their character development, the story arcs amongst them all, it's really hard not to care about these characters as people. But with them come all of their flaws, and it also reminds ourselves of just how flawed we are. So that I just find that show to be insanely relatable. I see little bits of my own personality in every single character that occupies that show. I can see my personality traits in Jack. I can see my personality traits in Kate. I can see my personality traits in Toby. I can see my personality traits in,
Mandy Moore.
Absolutely.
Not for nothing though. Mandy Moore does plays old really well.
Yes.
Like, I can't even
Absolutely.
picture her as younger.
Normal Mandy Moore.
Yeah. Now every time I see her, no matter what it is, I'm like, she's old.
That's funny.
Did you ever watch?
They do a good job.
Did you ever watch Parenthood?
Oh, great
No.
show.
Yeah.
Oh my
same
God,
writers.
Zilla, you'll love it.
Same
You will
writers.
love it.
They started with Parenthood and then they stopped and then they went it right into
This Is Us.
This Is Us.
Yeah,
But it's the
Parenthood
same
is
writing team.
incredible.
Yeah, I loved that show.
I never watched it. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
My sister just chimes in. Randall tries to be everyone's hero and forget his own family. It's bizarre. I'm just gonna stop being friends with my sister.
Jen, you're not convincing anyone in this.
Randall
show
is a phenomenal human being.
Yes,
He is a phenomenally flawed and broke. He has overcome so much adversity in his life as a character. And by the way, I'm sorry for losing anybody that hasn't watched This Is Us. But if you're looking for a show to binge watch, it's available on NBC. It's I think 3 or 4 seasons deep now. It's a great show. I don't think you'll be disappointed. But yeah, I mean, he's a terribly flawed character that's overcome so much. I find him to be inspirational. Period. That's just an opinion. What do I know?
Wow, Fisher brought up a Quantum Leap. I know that we're going backwards, but I forgot all about that show. That's
Scott Bakula.
Is it?
Yes. Well, there's an awkward pause we were all waiting for.
I thought you were reading the chat. I couldn't figure it out.
No, I was, I was kind of, sort of, and, like Fisher saying no interest in watching This Is Us, have no interest in growing a vagina. Sure, that's an opinion, sir. Jilly Bean is like, Randall doesn't have woe is me. Kevin and Kate have woe is me. Again, that's I think that the realness in that show comes from the fact that all of those characters are so broken, but they're broken beautifully, and they're trying to figure out how to get better. Whether it's you've got addicts who are children of an addict who's a child of an addict. That's and how that frames out in their development as they're moving into their 40s. Again, it's relatable. So. All right, moving on.
All right. Okay. Let's. I don't know, Justin. What else you got? Now that we got dudes in the chat, what were your topics that you wanted to bring up?
Well, nothing dude specific, but I did want to talk about a couple people in the news today in the last 24 hours. The first one being Rudy Giuliani. What the fuck is going on? Does everyone know what, did everyone see the video and the pictures of this dude with his hair dye running down his face? Come on, man.
Oh, I thought that was photoshopped. I just saw images of it.
No.
No. I mean,
that
is real deal.
I'll tell you guys, and neither of you guys, Neil, you moved there right after. So, right after 9/11, Rudy was like the most beloved person in New York City history at that point. He got everybody through a tough time. He was, at that point, one of the most famous people in the world and most loved people in the world. What the fuck happened? That dude,
Can an argument be made? Can an argument be made that when you reach a certain level of success, I mean, you touched on a lot of things, right? A lot of people will argue that he cleaned up New York like no other mayor had.
Well, I didn't like him for that. I didn't like him at all.
Okay.
Because what happened, just to interrupt real quick, which I tend to do, what he did was, he got rid of all the real crime in New York. So what happened at that point was there was no other crime. So he was cracking down on bars, nightclubs, restaurants for these ridiculous violations, noise violations. There was never a noise violation in New York.
think you
Until
had
there was no
tickets for
crime.
PDA, right? There was like
I
no
don't know about
PDA
that.
as well.
I don't know about that. But like, when people are getting murdered all the time, no one cares if your music's too loud. But once he cleaned up the whole city, he started coming after us for nothing major. And it was like everyone hated him. But then,
it's ridiculous.
After September 11th, I mean, everybody loved him. Everybody.
So the question I was framing is, at some point when you reach a certain level of success in your career trajectory, I mean, let's face it, you're the mayor of New York City and you helped bring that city out of the ashes. At what point do you just hang it up and go off and like, what more is there? I mean, here he is now in his mid 70s. He's obviously, his faculties have been diminished. There's just been one bungle after another, and it just doesn't really seem to be slowing down anytime soon. I don't know. I just like if I was the mayor of New York City during all of that, and I didn't have any ambitions to either, run for Congress, run for Senate, run for governor, none of that stuff happened for him. I would just go about my speaking engagements, collecting my checks, and call it a day. Like, why is he putting himself out there? His reputation, everything that he did in the past has basically, like, no one's going to talk about that. We're talking about that because you're a New Yorker and you live in New York. But the rest of the country right now, they're not going to remember that. They're going to remember him as looking like this weirdo vampire-looking dude that's got shoe polish bleeding out of his ears.
The Count.
Yeah. But tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you're wrong at all. I think when you get to that status, the only direction you can go is crazy. That's just what happens.
Neil Jackson, I'm going to tell you, I don't know if I sent this to you. I'm pretty sure I sent it to Justin. There's a video. Now, we've all blown our noses at some point in our lives, right? You can't make this up. Rudy feels the need at the podium or like to the side of the podium to blow his nose. So he reaches into his pocket for his handkerchief. Mind you, who carries fucking handkerchiefs in this day and age? Like that thing is
Justin
of
Zotz
people.
probably
A
does.
lot of
Justin
people.
probably
No,
does.
I do not, but a lot of people do.
They are cesspools for viruses and bacteria.
Agreed.
He takes out, blows his nose, and normal people, if you would fold it into itself, and put it back into your pocket someplace discreetly. But not America's Mayor Rudy Giuliani. What he does is then fold it the other way.
No, he didn't.
Yes, God. He did.
This man needs to be stopped.
Folds it the other way, starts wiping his mouth, and then dabbing his forehead with his snot-laden hanky. Justin, there's video. I can't make this up. I am telling you, it exists, and it happened yesterday. This happened. So I'm sorry, but it's like if you can't operate a handkerchief properly, do you really think that this is the guy you want in charge of your legal defense fund? Just saying.
Ugh.
Boogergate. Listen, if anybody in the chat room has actually seen it, Jilly Bean says, "Gag, just watched it. It happened just as Rob described."
No, I believe you, but ugh.
And Claudia in our chat room responds with dick hands. And honestly, I'd rather have dick hands than
yeah, me too.
Than booger hands. Than booger lips.
Oh my God. Like just sitting there and he's just wiping his greasy face with his boogers, and it's just disgusting.
It's funny. The older you get, some people say the older you get, it's almost like a full circle where you almost become like a child or an infant again as you get older.
It's regression. It's regression. Absolutely.
So that then right now, Rudy Giuliani is in that phase of like the sandbox. We all done this where you just wipe your nose, snot, forehead, in your hair. And You remember that kid, right? In the sandbox?
Yes. Like there's always the dirty
Flared
kid.
right here. Huh?
There's always the dirty kid.
Yep. Just flared snot. Just.
And
Anyway.
here you are, 75 years old, America's mayor, the dirty kid.
Yep.
Okay, we got to stop talking about this.
Okay.
Like I'm grossed
Or we
out.
could run,
Things
or
don't
we
really
could run
gross
a
me out.
poll. Or we could run a poll. Would you rather have booger face and
Or-
booger mouth or dick hands?
Dick hands versus booger lips.
Okay.
Who will win? I don't know.
Well, right before we came on this show, there was an announcement, and we have some breaking news.
Breaking news.
The first thing is I haven't used that graphic in a long time, and I had to bring it
Well,
back.
Yeah, we got to get our money's worth out of that.
I don't know if now. Tell me, is this big news or not? Donald Trump Jr. just got announced he had COVID.
Which proves that cocaine does not kill COVID.
What does that even mean?
Because Don Jr. does a lot of cocaine.
He does?
I
Yeah.
would say so. I would say so. Somebody get Aubrey O'Day on the phone. I want answers.
Oh, that's the source?
Why not?
I don't know.
Didn't we have dinner with her at Nobu once? I'm pretty sure we did.
I don't know.
All right. Yeah, Fisher P
like,
saying
I
Don
mean-
Jr. always has coke jaw. Yeah, the guy always looks like the guy always looks like he's a couple rails deep. Just saying.
I don't even know who Aubrey O'Day is.
From Danity Kane, the blonde from Danity Kane that he dated her for a hot minute in between like wives and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, Don Jr. does so much blow it comes out of Rudy's nose. Like that's just that's what we got.
Oh God.
What else you got on that fun list?
I got a lot of things, but none of them really transition well.
You know what? Fuck the transition.
Yeah, let's
So-
just talk.
We love food here. It's not unusual for us to talk about food, and we love lots of. We have our favorites. One of our proverbial favorites for the three of us. We very much all enjoy the classic In-N-Out burger. Well, today in Colorado, there were not one but two grand openings of Colorado's first 1 and 2 In-N-Outs. With that, cars started lining up last night at 3:30 a.m. Currently, there is a 14-hour wait. The line is 5 miles long to get a double-double. My question to you guys are we just completely jaded that, would you ever wait 14 hours for a freaking burger? Is there any food?
There's nothing I would wait 14 hours in line for. Nothing.
I don't
Yeah,
even
I
like
mean-
Five Guys, so they can go fuck
In-N-Out.
themselves.
In-N-Out. But yeah,
I don't.
I mean, I wouldn't wait 14 hours for 7 minutes in heaven with Giselle Bundchen. I mean, it's like,
Did you just say 7 minutes of heaven?
Yeah,
well, you guys,
minutes in
you guys never played that game in junior high. Don't act like you didn't. You're a bunch of dicks.
I honestly can't even remember what that game was, but
You go in the closet with a person of the opposite sex. You have 7 minutes, and then you both stare at each other awkwardly, like, "What are we supposed to do?" And then you come out and pretend that you made out for the last 7 minutes and acted like you guys actually did something, and you swear yourselves to secrecy that nothing actually happened because you don't want to be embarrassed that neither of you had the balls to go through with making out with the other person.
or you just make out.
Is that
I think
how
that
it
happens
works?
the second. I think that's the second time. I think that's the second time.
I'm sorry. Obviously, we were playing a different game here. That's how they told me the rules worked.
Wait, how do we get in the 7 minutes?
I was just saying that I would not wait in line. Like I would not wait in line for the opportunity to make out with a supermodel for 14 hours, let alone for a double. That's the point I'm making.
Right.
Like there's just, you know.
Justin, what would you wait 14 hours for?
Nothing. Literally nothing.
There's got to be something.
If there was like, if one of my kids was sick or one of you guys was sick and there was a cure and I had to stand in line for 14 hours, that's it. Nothing else.
There's got to be something fun.
I'm trying to do a mental.
No, there's nothing.
I'm trying to do a mental inventory of the things that I've actually like waited online for over the years in like my childhood, teenage years, even into college. And there's not a whole lot that really, like I've waited a couple hours for concert tickets. I've waited a couple hours for, like we lined up for like a midnight premiere of a movie.
Backstage passes to a Rolling Stones concert.
14 hours? No. Would I wait a couple hours? Maybe?
For free.
Yeah, I'd wait a couple hours for that. Sure.
Guys, when we went to Sujit's birthday party, we almost left after 20 minutes when they had everyone waiting outside.
Because we are jaded industry assholes.
Yeah.
That's why that we actually think that we're better than other people. That's at least I do.
I'm like, I'm like,
it's not that we think we're better than people. It's why would you wait on God?
We're just jaded industry assholes that we don't, we're used to living a life where we don't wait for anything. I mean, that goes without saying.
I would wait 14 hours for backstage passes to Rolling Stones.
Those guys are legends, but I wouldn't wait 14 hours to, for backstage passes to meet, Extreme, the guys that brought us More Than Words.
Yeah, but that's why I'm asking. I was like, what would you wait in line for 14 hours? And I was like, Rolling Stones backstage pass. And you're like, no. And I'm like, I'd do that. 14 hours? I've sat on my ass and did nothing for 14 hours once.
I'm just saying, like, no, but it would have to be like
maybe a few more times.
I'm just saying 14 hours for a burger. And again, are we just completely jaded because we have access to we all, Justin and I for sure have access to In-N-Out burgers within, 10 minutes. And, these folks in Colorado don't, or they haven't.
But they do now. They can go in 3 days.
I mean, that's sort of similar to when Chick-fil-A opened here. That was chaos as well.
Okay, well, tell us about that.
That thing was insane. I mean, I just remember riding a bike past there, and it was just insane. And every single day it was crazy. And then what was it? Well, I guess Shake Shack, that would be a bad example. The original one, that was always a line almost all the way around the park, practically.
Still a line in that one.
Yeah, I heard that there's a website with a cam that actually shows you what the line looks like.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but not 14 hours. 14 hours is crazy.
I mean, does the mystique ever just like? I would say that the mystique has to wane at some point, right? Like there was a spot that opened up here in San Diego within the last couple of months, and I mean, maybe the wait was an hour. It was a place called Raising Cane's. They do
Raising
chicken
Cane's
fingers.
is good, but it's chicken fingers.
Is it? My question is it an hour wait online an hour good?
I wouldn't wait an hour for any food. Nothing.
It
Zero.
defeats the purpose of fast food. Like if it's 14 hours or an hour or like 30 minutes, it is no longer fast food. It defeats the purpose.
Maybe it's an image thing. Maybe it's a PR stunt.
You think?
Maybe. I mean,
it's certainly
it works for nightclubs.
Talking about it.
Yeah, it works in nightclubs. Longer the line, the more you want to get in.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I mean, I don't think that In-N-Out is sandbagging their burger production on day one. Like they just want to crank that shit out. They know that they've got an opportunity to turn and burn. But the hype.
You know, people are like, yo, I waited. There's a line that is going to last for 14 hours. They're like, all right, fuck that. I'm not going to go there. Then I'm going to go tomorrow when it's only 6 hours. You know, and then the talk continues. Yeah, the
But
hype beast
you
culture.
bring up an interesting point, Neil, right? Like there were people that were lined up for this grand opening today at 11 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. and they started lining up yesterday at 3:30 in the morning. If that's the case, where does that register in your head? You know, I think I'm going to go there too. Like if somebody's already online and there's a line of cars a mile deep at 3:30 a.m., you know what? I'll try them next Tuesday. Like when they open.
Right. Yeah, it's the hype beast culture.
Do you think that it's because everyone, or is it Rona fatigue that people feel like they've got nowhere else to go? So waiting for a burger in their car, socially distant from other people, is just an activity. It just gives them something to do. Like, do you think that might, like, could Rona fatigue be contributing to people doing things that they otherwise wouldn't normally do because there's just less to be done?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Drive-in concerts. That is the shittiest idea on the planet, but I get it. People are
Cascades got a sold out one tomorrow here in San Diego.
Right.
He's at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, and you just pull up into your car, and he's going to do a set from a stage. Like one of my absolute favorite DJs. But it's an experience. You're obviously, you know, we're all passionate about clubs and music and everything that goes along with it. Watching your favorite,
you can sit on your couch and put YouTube on your TV and watch a DJ set from him, and not be a moron in your car at a stupid drive-in concert.
Where you have to put in the you have to put on the FM transmitter, you know, to the simulcast station and bump it through your own speakers, which, mind you, California also has a 10 p.m. curfew. So that show is going to be done at 9:59. Like, then what do you do? Just when that orange Tesla is kicking in, that's a 90s, you know, that's a raver reference. But, you know, it's like when the pharmaceuticals are kicking in, friends, at 9:59 p.m., where exactly do you go?
To In-N-Out to get a burger and then go home.
Wait for 14 hours. No, because they have to be closed too. Roses are red. Krispy Kreme creates corona fatigue in the Toronto area. We only have one within 50-mile radius, and people wait between 2 and 3 hours for a Krispy Kreme donut. I will ship one to you.
Ew. But I get it. But ew.
Krispy Kreme donuts are only good when that freaking hot donuts now light is on. Anything else, forget it.
Yeah, just to your sister just put this in the chat. They had the concert planned before our stupid governor. That's a good segue here. I put a post up on Facebook yesterday. You guys probably saw it because we're friends on Facebook. I don't understand this. Hey, the Rona is really bad right now. Oh my God, we have to lock down again. In 3 days. And, you know, not for 3 days though. If it's that fucking bad, lock it down. Put freaking troops in the streets and say you're not allowed to leave your fucking house. If it's so bad, you can't wait 3 days. Like what is wrong? Like, does nobody have common sense at all?
So I have opinions.
I'm pointing at my list, like you guys can see my list.
Okay.
I read a headline. I think it was a New York Post headline, which when you hear it, you're going to laugh and be like, oh, that makes sense. Philadelphia mayor spotted drinking a beer at a bar before announcing total lockdown on indoor dining.
It wasn't illegal at that point.
Right. But he knew that he was about to lock shit down. So our boy here heads out to the local saloon to have a pop before he locks everybody down. It's amazing.
I have opinions on certain things, and I'm just going to leave it at this, because I think that leadership starts at the top. I think that you need to set an example. If you want the people to believe in you and your leadership qualities, it has to be a do as I do and not as I say kind of thing. And I think that California's governor, who I voted for, is deficient in that. I think that this needs to be handled much differently. I could see the 3-day waiting period in which they're just trying to give people an opportunity to get their ducks in a row. Restaurants, bars have inventory that they need to deplete. I don't know. I don't know the mindset of it.
If it's that serious that you feel the need to lock down, then that should be the only thing that's important.
I would argue this point, Justin, regardless of which, there is going to be half of the population that's still going to say, I don't care. Because that same half of the population has been running around with impunity since March, which is part of the reason why we might find ourselves in the situation in which we're in.
I know I did this last week, but these half-assed measures aren't going to change anything. If we would have had a real lockdown where, like in the movie Outbreak, where they lock the fucking place down and you stay in your house for 2-3 weeks, the shit would have been done 8 months ago. But no, they didn't do that. They do these half-assed fucking measures that don't work. So either live your life, put a mask on and try to be safe and live your life, or lock it down for real. And when some states are locked down and some aren't, but you could drive across state borders and go to the state that's open, it's insanity what we're doing.
Are you suggesting a national strategy, Justin, that hasn't been enacted quite yet?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Budweiser?
I'm just suggesting that, listen, we live in a world where a militia actually, and I don't want to get too deep into this. I'm going to just leave. This is my final point. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, no matter what. We live in a world where a militia went into the state capital of Michigan with a plan to execute the governor. That's not a fallacy. There are people that have been indicted for an assassination plot against a duly elected sitting governor. Now, whether or not we agree with her policies, that's an entirely different conversation. But there is a segment of this population that thought, you know what? I don't like these rules. These rules don't apply to me. My freedoms are being infringed upon. Let's go kill the governor. Not let's recall the governor. Not we need to get more action into the state legislature. It's let's assassinate her on television. Now I start to understand why there's a 3-day waiting period. Perhaps. But that's just me.
I've been locked down, so I don't really have any opinion. I don't even give a fuck anymore.
252 days for this guy right here, and I'm smiling.
At this point, I'm done talking about. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah,
I just know what I got to do, and that's it.
That's it. You can only be responsible for yourself.
Yeah. At this point, nobody cares.
But I'm gonna be a damn good citizen. I'm not gonna. That's it. That's just me. Dude, I'm sorry, but Fisher's throwing out some great ones. Vanilla ISIS, Y'all Qaeda. Those are some great names for some of these. Those are some great names for some of these militias. Mule Team 6. Hanging out at the local Carl's Jr. The Gravy Seals. All right. So what else is on your list?
What else you got on your list, man?
Thanksgiving. I got Thanksgiving on my list.
Let's
do
it.
Wait, what was something that we had last week? Sorry, what was something that we had last week that we didn't get to that we wanted to get to?
The bagels versus donuts conversation.
There was another one that we were like, we completely forgot about it. But all right, man, I can't remember. I thought maybe you had it written down.
What?
I honestly can't remember. There's just something lingering on my head. Like we had something that we were going to talk about that we missed. that was topical, but whatever. So where are we
to
going?
answer Fisher's question here in the chat, it's how can you versus bagels and donuts? I am of the opinion, let's say you had to pick one that you could eat the rest of your life, one you could never have again. What would your answer be? See, mine, I'm a bagel guy. I would eat a bagel. I would give up donuts. My 11-year-old just yelled from the other room. I don't know if you could hear that. And he said
Definitely.
no.
I was
Yes.
about to leave the studio just now.
Well, I know you like donuts, Neil. You don't like bagels.
I love donuts.
I know you do.
I'm very passionate about my donuts, but now for me, invoking my Middle Eastern heritage, if somebody said donuts or pita bread, that would be very, very hard for me. I don't know. There is rarely a meal that doesn't consist of pita. I make my sandwiches on pita, scoop my hummus and my lebni with pita. Like, pita is a staple in my diet. So that would be pita bread or bagel. Pita all day, every day, sir. That was a question from Fisher in the Twitch chat. But yeah, bagel versus donut all day, every day.
Wait, say that again. What did you say?
Donuts all day, every day. That's I give me a donut.
Yeah.
All right.
Justin, the next time you're in town, we're post Rona, we are going to go. We're going to go to a spot called Sidecar. They have a butter and salt donut that is life changing, and
Look,
it's
guys,
just very simple. It's butter and salt.
Well, then it's a great name. I am not saying I don't like donuts. I love donuts. But that's like saying if you had to give up hamburgers or pizza.
Pizza.
No, I'm giving up hamburgers. If I had to pick one food that I had to eat every meal for the rest of my life, it would be pizza.
The heartburn would destroy me. That typical for the old guy in the club. It's a great old guy reference. Lisa S in the Twitch chat is asking, "What is my nationality?" I'm happy to share
He's
this.
Asian.
I'm definitely Asian. We've touched on this on previous episodes. Both of my parents are Palestinian. However, my mom gets the added bonus of also being half Armenian. Yeah, I'm mostly Palestinian with a little touch of Eurasian. So I got all the good stuff going through me. Who was also raised in a Greek Orthodox church, so I even got that aspect in the culture going for me. So I guess I'm a little bit of a mutt, but yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Sorry, I just wanted to take time and engage with one of our amazing guests in our chat room.
I think a couple of people in the chat want to know what is going on with this pajama jammy jam.
What?
People say that still, right?
Are we doing that next week?
Wait, what?
So we were talking last week. We were talking about, are we going to do a pajama party, for our Friendsgiving next Friday? Neil Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you, Neil, that does look pretty comfy and cozy.
Jenna also has hers. Jilly Bean also has hers.
Oh, Jesus. So wait, I have to buy
Let's
pajamas?
fucking do this.
Hold on. I got to write myself a note.
Okay.
Lisa just ordered hers.
I outgrew my onesie, and I don't think that I would be able to order one in time. So I will find some other appropriate attire, but I will, we'll figure it out.
And we're doing this next Friday, right?
Yeah, next Friday. So it'll be our version of Friendsgiving. And maybe we could invite some of our friends from the chat room. We'll, you guys be camera ready, because we might just put you on in the show. So you consider yourselves warned. Fisher, the way that you're suggesting that, that's the Winnie the Pooh. That you call it the shirt cock, the Winnie the Pooh, which is t-shirt and nothing else. Yeah, sure. I'm definitely not doing that. Nobody needs to see that nonsense. I think that'd make for a good show. And then, bring your leftovers. We'll have some snacks, maybe an adult beverage. It'll be a good old time.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Okay.
I mean, we've
I'm
had
in.
worse ideas on this show.
Nah.
Nah.
Wait, really?
Yes,
Of course we have.
Yes, the pajamas definitely fit. They're a little young in the bottoms, but I'll make it work. A little young. You know what I'm talking about. It's like gray sweatpants. Just kidding.
Oh,
Did you guys
God.
know about that?
It's a thing.
I didn't even know that was a thing until like
It's a big thing. Ladies in the chat room,
Whoa,
throw one up in the
pause.
chat. No. Ladies in the chat room, throw a one up if you are on with the gray sweatpants movement.
Sorry. Yeah, it's a little tight and tight around my mischief. But it'll work.
All right.
So but it has a great graphic on the back saying bare cheeks. I don't
Jenna
know
was
Yeah.
Jenna was asking me if I was, if regarding the gray sweatpants, if we wear them or do we like them. I don't think so. Right now, there seems to be a movement, an admiration society of women that admire men in their gray sweatpants, but it comes with a caveat, which men have to be packing in order to be worthy of wearing the gray sweatpants. I think I'm trying to explain that as,
Did you see Jay Chan's comment? Gray
sweats.
sweatpants, the ultimate 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah. Gray sweatpants are today what the form-fitting designer jean of the 70s, the men's designer jean of the 70s and 80s, the skinny pant. That's kind of what it's turned into. It's about the bulge.
The bull.
Listen, a friend of mine on Instagram straight up put her ex on blast and was like, he is so not worthy of the gray sweatpants.
Oh, damn.
Like, and that's where I was like, oh, because I'm not privy to girl code. Like, I have a sister. I pick up things here and there, but you ladies have your own.
Okay, actually, chat for all the ladies out there. What else is lady code? I want to know.
There's bro code. There's definitely bro code. So
I want to know. I want to know the lady code. I was in the dark about these gray pants thing, gray sweats.
Irene Fiasco in our Twitch chat says, my friend's husband left the house wearing gray sweatpants. She told him he wasn't leaving the house dressed like a whore.
It's like, cover yourself up. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I don't
now want it out there.
Now I'm like self-conscious. Like, am I gray sweatpants worthy?
Make yourself gray sweatpants worthy.
I guess so.
I mean, the ladies do it.
Just saying. Justin is completely bored with this conversation.
I mean, the ladies do it. There's the chicken cutlets. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Why don't we just do a men's lady cutlet or chicken cutlet?
There's definitely a dude cod piece. I mean, in the 70s and 80s, it was just a sock.
Yeah, but I mean, we've advanced since then.
Yeah, well, it's not something I research on the daily, Neil.
Yeah,
not something that it's on my list of things to keep on top of in current events.
I'm just saying. I'm just like, wait, why can't we do that?
This is the longest Justin has ever been quiet on any one of our podcasts. This is also the longest he's gone without interrupting one of us on any one of our podcasts. This is miraculous.
I know. And we're going.
All we have to do is talk about dongs and sweatpants, and it just zip done. No more zots.
Like, what do you think? Like, okay, so if we don't do the chicken cutlets, is there like a push-up bra version of men's draws?
Oh, dude, there has to be like men's Spanx that throw some additional
Some oomph.
volume in the nether regions down there. But Hannah girl, my sister, amazing. If he wears Uggs with his gray sweatpants, the transaction is void. Jen, I'm going to give you credit. You're much funnier in a chat room than you are in real life. You're bringing the heat today. I'm going to tell you. I appreciate. Speaking for all three of us, because Justin's not speaking right now. We appreciate your contributions to this shit show of ours.
This is the worst show I've ever seen in my life.
Really? Can I direct you to season 1, episode 1 of the Old Guy in the Club?
Oh yeah, that was,
or rather, maybe season 1, episodes 1 through 21. We've only started getting good in the last couple of weeks. Even that's questionable.
I'm reading Jilly Bean's.
Jilly Bean's like, I'm strictly dickly and I don't look down at a guy's package just randomly in public. But yes, eyes, height, smile. That's what gets me first. Yeah.
Wait,
I want to point out.
I never understood the fixation on ladies and men's butts. Like, I just never understood that. I think the Budweiser kicked in on Zod.
Yeah. Lisa saying she judges by shoes, and Lisa, I will tell you 100%. So do I. If you're rocking red bottoms, I'm just convinced you've got an hourly rate.
I was waiting. People were like, crickets. I was like, no, there's something in there. There's something in there. Good thrust power. Boom. That's what I was waiting for. There's something in there. Just wait. Strong butts. Good thrust power. Okay. There, and then there you have it.
You guys let me know when you're done with this topic, and I'll join you guys again.
Okay, what do you want to, Justin? What do you want to talk about? More? We should all be on lockdown. We're all on lockdown. We're here.
Oh God.
What else are we talking about, Justin?
I mean, the fact that there's the fact that there's a few dozen people in a chat room on at 6:40 p.m. Pacific on a Friday night, 20 till 10 on the East Coast should be proof positive that the whole world is just.
Yeah, I think we realize that we're on lockdown right now.
I'm not on lockdown. I went and played golf today, went to the store, did some shopping, wore a mask. Not when I play golf, but went to the store and wore a mask. What else are you supposed to do?
All right, what else are we talking about, Justin?
I got a list, but I don't want to talk about any of it.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Let's see. What do we got? I got some talking points here. Thanksgiving. All right, we already talked about that. So we're done there. What else? Black Friday coming up. Being in a COVID rut. TikTok holes. Today is the 3-year anniversary of my divorce being final.
Happy anniversary.
I don't even know what the word is. Anniversary? Is that a word?
But you guys still live together.
Yeah, that's why it's that's why it's funny.
That's like.
So your actual wedding date and your divorce date are within 2 weeks of each other?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Makes it hard to forget either one. Oh yeah, it's so this is how when I got married, it was 2008. Okay. The 9th is the day we got married. The 10th was the season 1, episode 1 premiere of Rehab, Party at the Hard Rock Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, the 11th, is JV's birthday. So every year we have, and now we had the 20th to the mix.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
So what do you get as a present for like your divorce anniversary?
I don't know.
Like, do you get presents? Do you give presents? Is that a thing?
I mean, I went to the store and bought groceries a little while ago. I'm counting that.
So you got food. I mean, listen, take a look at the chat room. People are asking some pretty, pointed questions. I won't ask them, but I'll leave it to you. Jilly Bean's
What are we
got.
looking at? Oh, no. That's a no on that answer.
All right.
That's also a no. Let's see. Nick, who's that? Irene, did I buy a gift? No. What else?
Shout out Nikki Chips. What up, buddy?
Fisher says I'd hire a moving company. That's good stuff.
I will give you guys a lot of credit. You guys do a great job of co-parenting. I think it's a great.
We have no choice. But anyway, I don't really have anything else for the show. Let's. I mean, I'm freaking starving. It's been 2 hours. Let's just get into Grinds My Gears real quick.
Done.
And we'll get the hell out of here.
Hit the button.
This is Grinds My Gears. I'm going to go last. So you guys are going to go first.
No.
Well, no, I have to this week. Wow, there's a lot of more questions in the chat here. No, we did not acknowledge anything. Do we talk? Yes. We live in the same house. Yeah, it's a lot less weird than you would think, believe it or not. I think. I don't know.
It's just like a head nod, like, sup.
No.
High-fiving each other across the hall, down the hall?
No. She doesn't watch the show, I don't think. Maybe she does. I have no idea. Who's going first? I'm going last.
I'll do it. I'll just jump in there. You know what grinds my gears? When we spend an hour and 42 minutes talking about everything in the world that grinds our gears in one way, shape, or form, and then an hour and 43 minutes later have to come up with a topic with something else that also grinds our collective gears. Like, we talked about everything. Lines, bagels, like all the different things that people do that irritate us, corona fatigue, all of it. And then, here's one other thing. I don't have anything. So that's it.
I think this was one big one. What grinds my gears?
I mean, we could change the name of this thing to the Grinds My Gears podcast and just be sitting here bitching for 2 hours straight, and people would still tune in.
The reason I was going to go last is because I don't have one today, but I do have something I want to talk about before we leave.
Okay.
So you know what? We're going to cancel Grinds My Gears today. No Grinds My Gears.
Yeah, booger lips don't even grind my gears.
But dick hands do.
Dick hands
Irene
do, but
Fiasco just wrote in the chat, how about instead of Grinds My Gears, you say what you are happy about today? And that's exactly where I was going with my Grinds My Gears today. So here we go. The three of us on this screen here have a good friend who goes by D-Nice. Now, I don't know if everyone in the chat knows who D-Nice is, but he's probably the most famous DJ in the world right now. He basically was one of the first people to start streaming DJ sets online. And he's just an all-around incredible human being and nice guy. I've known him for 20 years or something like that. The reason I'm bringing him up is he's been nominated for Time Magazine's Person of the Year. And he put a post up the other day, and I commented on his Instagram post, and he called me a couple minutes later laughing. And the two of us had like a 30-minute conversation about life, as we do when we talk. But I just want to give a shout out to him because he's one of the best human beings on the planet. And like to be nominated for like Time Magazine Person of the Year it's not even real. And you can go and vote for him. So go vote for him.
Yeah.
Look, he's up against these titans of the world, and the odds are he's probably not going to win. But it doesn't even matter.
So fuck Dr. Fauci. He doesn't need your vote. Vote for D Nice.
Look, that guy. After watching him throw out the first pitch at the Nationals game, he's never win. I would never vote for him for anything.
I was just pointing out the fact that these are the caliber of people that are usually in that same conversation that D is up against.
Yes.
And these are the movers and shakers of the world on a global scale. And to have one of our friends in that conversation is beyond massive. Like there's just no words to describe it.
And just the amount of joy he's brought to people during this period of COVID is it's just pretty incredible in my book. And he did it for all the right reasons. He just did it to make people happy, to take people's minds off all the crap going on in the world. He didn't do it to become even more famous than he already was. He was already famous. It didn't this wasn't. So anyway, I could ramble on all day about him. Go vote for him. Nikki Chips in the chat asked where's the vote. I don't know where the vote is. Let me Google it real quick. You guys talk for 1 second.
I'm not necessarily sure if the Time Magazine has like a reader's choice poll. I think that, they have their editors and writers and folks within the industry that kind of help decide that. But if they do, we should put that up and flood the ballot box. Oh, there it is. Time Magazine Person of the Year reader poll. Boom, boom.
There you go.
So
I already voted. So go and vote.
So do they do two versions? They do the readers poll and then they do the editors poll. Is that? I think that's how it's done. But
I mean, I if I had a living grandparent, I would ask them because that's
I mean, let's be real. He brought a lot of joy to people. I mean, anytime you could get like Michelle Obama in your chat room streaming,
and Oprah, and President Joe
Oprah,
Biden, President-elect Joe Biden.
You get all of those folks in your chat room vibing
Lenny
out.
Kravitz, Lisa Bonet's ex-husband. That's a reference to an earlier conversation tonight.
Way to tie it all back, Justin.
No, that's what I do. I'm a professional.
I see that. Getting good.
Well, that's all I got for today, guys. What about you? Anything you guys want to talk about?
I mean, things that are good. Honestly, guys, in the spirit of Thanksgiving that's coming up this week, I'm grateful that we get together every Friday and goof off and talk some mindless nonsense and have some laughs and make some new friends. So I know that's probably a little better suited for next week's show. But let's get into things a little bit early since we're talking about all tell us something good. I'm thankful for this show. I'm thankful for you folks, and I'm thankful for everybody that comes in and checks us out and spends a couple hours out of their day listening to us three knuckleheads talk about everything and anything and nothing in particular. With that said, as we do every week, if you haven't had the opportunity yet, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe if you feel so inclined. Your support helps keep moving this ship in the right direction, regardless of our own best efforts, in spite of us. Also, don't forget that if you missed any part of the show, it does replay on YouTube as well as anywhere you get your podcasts each and every Monday. And don't forget, next Friday, it's going to be our Friendsgiving Spectacular, where Neil Jackson will be wearing a onesie. I will be eating leftovers. Justin will be grumpy. And we'll just kind of recap the Thanksgiving shenanigans and have some good fun while I try to buy a PlayStation 5 in the middle of the show. See you next week. Neil?
I'm like, bye. No.
We're gonna give you one picture as a gift. This is from us to you guys.
So good.
That's a very interesting birthmark.
Oh, Neil sent that to me about a half hour ago. I forgot I had it.
Somebody sent it to me. I was like, oh, I got to send this to the chat.
So does he wear gray sweatpants?
I don't think I think he's like, I think those things automatically like blew off his waist. So we're just signing out.
Yes,
we're done.
All right. I launched a coffee company, brlcoffeeco.com. I'm promoting that right now. So if you need any coffee, order it there. Go ahead, Justin.
The second you have K-Cups, you let me know. I'm ordering the entire stock.
How about this? I'm going to go on Amazon and get you one of those K-Cup holder things.
Yeah.
You order all the coffee on the website. I will send you one of those for free.
You guys heard it here first.
Also, Beans, Rhymes, and Live, 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. But get your coffee, brlcoffeeco.com.
It makes an amazing stocking stuffer for this holiday season. You know, for the people that you love in your life, give them the gift of great coffee with your BRL coffee, available at brlcoffeeco.com. And by the way, I almost forgot a special shout out to our modest Jenna for keeping the chat room in check. And just as I say that, eject that bot. Get rid of the bot, Jenna. We got a bot.
Bot's gone.
Deuces.
Wait. Oh, look at that. Wow, that was fast. She beat me to it.
She's good. That's why she wields the sword.
That's true. That is true.
Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you guys, if whatever it is that you guys are doing, hope it's filled with food, friends, fun, and family. And we'll see you on next Friday. Justin, what do you got?
Pajamas and leftovers next Friday.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, we're not playing any music or anything unless Neil wants to play Golden Girls as we say goodbye. But we're not going to play any videos or anything. We're just going to leave. Oh wait, no, we're not. We're going to raid somebody. Who do we got?
Yeah, we definitely need to raid. Who's up right now?
Let's see.
Okay, we got. Let's see on my list here. We
Karma's
got
on.
Chachi. We got Karma.
Yeah, let's do Karma. I think he's drunk right now too.
Oh my god.
Well, even better.
Yeah.
Read DJ Karma LV. All right. Bye, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving. See you next week.
Thank you for being
Excellent song. Excellent.
Travel down the road and back again. Your heart